Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have a special review for you guys, so let's jump into this video.
This is the Hyper Gogo Plus. As you can see, it's a 12-inch electric mini bike for kids, and this is 6+ years of age. And we're going to show you with a 9-year-old on it and show you the power difference. All right, guys, we're going to unbox it, and it appears there are 3 pieces. There is a box, then you have your motorcycle, and then you have a singular wheel in the box, and that makes the whole box. And these are all the little tools and pieces that were inside that small box. Then we got the small tire and the frame system itself, and this thing is really clean. As for putting this together, the user manual is fairly simple. Now guys, if you're interested in the specs on this specific bike, it has a max speed of 10 miles an hour. That's exactly what we want to know. That's the first thing as a dad we want to see, is how fast this little guy will go. The max range is 8 miles. Max load is 144 pounds. Now the rest of the information you can take a good look at, and the charge is 4 hours, and the product dimensions are listed below. Alright guys, next you will have the tire itself. I want you to pay attention because it has a little arrow to show you where the rotation is. That means this arrow needs to be pointing out and away from the bike. The next thing I want you to pay attention to is the actual rod, the axle rod that goes through for the bike itself. You're going to have to make this as even as possible. The bearing, the smoothest bolt bearing will go on the bottom, then you will have the washer on top of it, and then the bolt. And again, you want to make sure that both sides are even. Alright guys, this is where you notice the arrow. You want it to point away from the light and or point where the light is going. Next, you will take your next little washer light. It's got that little hook on it, and you will put it in between the gap. You see there's a gap in between this fork. Next, you'll take your other little, screw and put it on the end. Once you get it in place, you will take your little give-in wrench and you will tighten it down. The next thing you're going to do is take your kickstand with your 2 little bolts. You're just going to mirror it up, and then you're going to place the 2 bolts. Next is the fenders, and the fenders bolts are actually already in the fork, so you'll just need to remove all 4 of them and then take your little fender and match up to the bolts. Alright guys, next, if you notice, the fender is on and the 4 bolts are in place, and this is what it looks like finished. And it's very sturdy. This is good plastic. The forks are heavy duty metal, so the whole frame is metal. There's nothing to worry about there. Next, we just take off the pegs, and they have these little red caps on them. Then you'll take your 2 pegs and you just literally screw them on. Next, we're going to take our 4x handlebar clamps and 4x bolts, and we're going to be putting the handlebars in place. Alright guys, next you will take the one with the divots inward, and then the one that does not. It has like this little square or rectangle on the back. And these are the mates, and they will actually go on top of the faceplate. So this one will go underneath, and the ones where the bolts can actually fit inside will go on them all lined up. All you will do is fasten each one of these down, and you will orientate your handlebars upright as you're fastening. And there's little grooves, teeth marks for where the handlebars need to be fastened. Whenever you get it positioned, before you move anywhere further and tighten these bolts all the way down, just position it and get your child to sit on it, unless it's a present, of course, and get it orientated. If you need to adjust, just take these 4 screws again and adjust to your child. The coolest thing, or one of the coolest aspects I think, is the actual gas tank is a storage. You can put your little phone in there, any kind of little valuable items for your kid, and this is magnetic, so it literally pops on. Once it's all put together, all you're going to do is connect the male and female ends, and it's very easy. You can see that this one is a 5-prong, will go into the smaller 5-prong, and the larger 3-prong will go into the female 3-prong as well. Plug-in thing that you're going to need that's not provided is a Phillips head, and that's just to adjust the light. Now the only negative thing I'd say is the small wiring harness. It's a little bit harder. Try not to force it in there too hard. The little prongs, they're very sensitive. And when it comes alive, well, you'll know. The engine has some neat little blue-green LEDs. As you can see, it lights up the sky, and then it has a nice little LED light. And this little guy is meant to bob around. You can take this little guy off-road, and it is too cool. You think it's cool, buddy?
Yeah.
And now guys, here's another view of the power button and the little light system. Now this thing is Bluetooth activated as well, which is very neat, and we'll go over that in a second. Now there is 3 speed modes, L, N, and S. And there's your power button, and then there's your light button. Here's your throttle instructions. That's your battery level at the top. So when we saw that at the top, that meant we have about 3 batteries. And then speed display, the double zeros, Bluetooth mode when it's connected. And then you have your speed display. And now we saw it just now was in the L speed. And then on off button, this one. And then your ambient light button. Press 2 seconds to turn off and or turn on the headlights. Press twice quickly to turn on or off the atmosphere lights, and press 1 time quickly to switch to lighting effects. Now let's go over the atmosphere lights. You're gonna press this button up here quickly. So right now we can see they're off, and I'm gonna double click quickly. They're on. I turned off the light, and now all you're gonna do is long hold on the light button, and it turns on. Now guys, if you want to change toddler mode to speed mode, which L represents 5 miles per hour, all you'll do is push the power quickly. This N is reference to 8 miles per hour. And then the S is 10 miles per hour. Now as we're sitting here, if your child does not like the sound of the engine, which I think it sounds awesome, all you will go down to is the 2 orange buttons, and you'll click it, and it will silence it. But it's still on, guys, so you will have a nice quiet ride if your toddler likes that. This other button is actually for you to put water in, and little vapor will come out, and it'll be smoke. Next, the last thing before your little guy or gal starts riding is the Bluetooth device. And this is what the app looks like, the Gogo app. So we'll connect that so that you can check it out. It will track the location if it's inside that gas tank traveling with your bike. So it's got some cool capabilities. As you can see that it's on, and we have the Bluetooth hooked up. Now I'm going to play music. We're gonna start at the lowest level. The engine is off, or the noise is. So here's the music playing from the speaker, and we're going to go to the max loudness. Alright guys, if you're wondering about the height of your kid, if he will be able to ride this, because he might be a big kid, after all, these kids are growing really fast. My little guy, who's 9, is about 52 inches tall, and he sits perfect on this bike. Alright baby boy, this is your brake, that is your gas. Alright guys, this is at 5 miles per hour. Now guys, this is at 8 miles per hour. And it's more steady. No drawbacks. The biggest thing when teaching your kid is when he's going that fast, you don't always need to give it gas 24/7, so just let him coast it out. So you'll just release that gas and go. 10 miles per hour, guys. What's your favorite thing about this bike?
How fast it goes.
And of course we got the cool smoke from the exhaust in the back. So we are going to end this video here. This product is amazing. The frame is made out of metal. It's got so many options. The Bluetooth is highly capable, plays music, but first you might need to let your kid get used to riding it and take wide turns as you're going around. And our boy's about to take off right now, so we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.